A woman who was injected with an unknown substance, which she thought was Botox, says she had such a bad reaction it affected her whole body. Today, the man who administered it was found guilty of inflicting grievous bodily harm. Marcel King from Poole suffered swelling and burning after being treated by Ozan Melin, who claimed to be a doctor. Bryony Leyland has more.
This was Marcel King, aged 57, before having injections she thought were Botox. And this was her afterwards.
As I got in my car, I could see my forehead swelling. I started to look a bit like Frankenstein's monster. And by the time I got home, my face was swelling out sideways.
The injections were given to Marcel at a house in Poole by Ozan Melin in 2013. He told Marcel, who'd responded to an online ad, that he trained as a cosmetic surgeon. But the court heard he was not medically qualified and was using an unknown and dangerous substance.
I asked Ozan Melin, in his medical opinion, should I go for help? And he said, no, just put a flannel on it and take some ibuprofen, it's perfectly normal.
The next day, Marcel went to A&E and was given treatment for anaphylactic shock.
The burning was really, really awful, but it was a whole systemic thing. The lymph nodes in my groin had come up, you could tell the whole body was being affected by it. It was just a horrible experience.
Marcel says she still gets facial pain. Today, Ozan Melin was found guilty of inflicting grievous bodily harm on Marcel and another victim, Carol Kingscott. He was cleared of a charge relating to a third woman and will be sentenced next month. An email from police with news of the verdict came through as we filmed with Marcel.
God. I'm going to cry now, sorry.
How do you feel? That's the news you've been waiting for.
I just over the moon. After 5 years of waiting, I haven't slept for 2 nights. It's just a build-up of, anticipation and worry. And I never want anybody else to end up looking like that.
Marcel King ending that report. Well, an organisation called Save Face has a register of approved clinicians to carry out non-surgical treatments. Earlier, I spoke to Ashton Collins from Save Face and asked her what qualifications a person needed to inject Botox.
Shockingly, you don't need any qualifications at all. Anybody can administer Botox, regardless of your professional background or your experience.
So this industry has no regulations governing it at all, is that what you're saying?
It's almost entirely unregulated, yes. I mean, there are bits of regulations that do apply to these procedures. For example, Botox is a prescription-only medicine, which means that anybody having the treatment needs to have a face-to-face consultation with a licensed prescriber, and that's either a doctor, nurse, dentist, or a prescribing pharmacist.
So if there are so few rules on the administering of Botox, that means it must be quite easy for people to carry out bad practice like we've had in this case.
Yeah, no, it's very common, and this case is, sadly happening all over the country with various people claiming false qualifications and sourcing illegitimate products over the internet, and you really don't know how safe and effective.
So if people are interested in Botox, what checks should they make themselves?
We always say use a PSA approved register like Save Face. You can be assured that we've done all the checks on your behalf. We check that the person is who they say they are, that they've got the qualifications that they claim. We check that they source their products from legitimate suppliers, and then we go out and check that their clinical environment is safe and fit for purpose for the procedure.
So briefly, very fortunate in this case that this lady actually went to the police to report it.
Absolutely, and good on Marcel for doing that. A lot of women don't want to come forward, they feel embarrassed and they really don't know who to report the incidents to, and it really is down to the tenacity of the victims and the police department for actually making sure that this case has come as far as it has, and Ozan Melin has been now found guilty.
Ashton Collins, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.